Hello, YouTube. It's your boy YGO King of Scrubs here, and we have our Melodious deck profile here going on. I did play this in a tournament. What are you doing, cat? Get out of here. Go on. Go on. Go. Always in the way. Always. I did play this in a tournament. I ended up taking second. I should have taken first. I tied with a branded player who won the dice roll, and of course, Gimmick Puppet locked me. And then games 2 and 3, I sided in things and was prepared for him. I will show a few cards that I did side because those are kind of important. I know I normally don't show side deck stuff. I got to remember to stop saying so much. But yeah, my first round opponent dropped after losing to Melodious. He was upset about it. So he didn't respect this deck at all. So after that, it kind of screwed over my record, which is what brought me down to second place. If he had stayed in, even had one win, then I took first. But that's what kind of hurt me. So, but we're going to go over the deck profile, what I chose to play, things like that. And yeah, so we start off with 3 of the Refrania. I have no idea how to pronounce this name. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely amazing card. It's a Stratos for the deck. On normal or special, searches for Melodious monster, and then if it's face up in your extra deck, it places itself in the pendulum zone, and then it can dump a monster from the main deck to target a Melodious monster you control and increase its attack by that monster's level times 200. And it helps push for OTKs a lot. But absolutely great card. You definitely want 3 of it. It is your scales, which helps give you follow-up, especially through Nibiru. After that, we are playing 3 of the Couplet. Again, I'm going to butcher these names. I apologize, guys. I'm still working on them. You definitely want to play 3 of this. Its pendulum effect is Erota, and then it has the same effect in the extra deck. If a Melodious fusion monster is special summon, it puts itself face up in the pendulum zones. So it gives you your 1 scale and a 9 scale, which helps for your pendulum summon. And then it's a search for your fusion spell. When it's added from deck, grave, anywhere to hand, you can reveal it to special summon a Melodious monster from your graveyard as well. That's level 4 or lower. After that, we do play 3 Sonata. This is just the extender of the deck. Non-once per turn special summon if you control a Melodious. It comes up a lot more than you think it would. And it also boosts all your Melodious's attack by, if it's special summoned, it increases all their attack and defense by 500. Again, helps push for games sometimes. You'd be surprised that it can. After that, we are playing 2 Soprano. Hard once per turn, add back on summon, on special summon specifically, not on normal summon. It adds back from grave when it's special summoned. And then non once per turn can fusion summon. You definitely want to play 2 of it. 3 of it was a little too cloggy, so we make sure to only play 2. After that, we are on 1 Cannon, another extender for the deck, but it's a once per turn special summon, so we only play 1 of it. Then we are on 1 Chapano. I'm going to screw it up. It adds back from the graveyard once per turn, so not a bad card. Definitely want at least 1 of it. It's constant recursion. It's one of your 3 bricks in the deck, though. I will say that. Aria is your other brick in the deck, but she helps make your things and all your Melodious monsters into towers. If you get her on the board special summoned, it makes it so that they can't be targeted or destroyed by battle. If it's special summoned, and then the Elegy makes it so that they all gain 300 attack and can't be destroyed by card effects. So if you can special summon both of them, which you can with the Link monster, it helps make all your Melodious as towers. But that'll be it for the Melodious monsters. There's 1 more that I would play, but I can't find it anywhere. It burns for 500. We're moving on to the hand traps next. We are playing 3 Herald of Orange Light. This card is absolutely insane, and the more of it you play, the better it becomes. I know a lot of people are like, only play 2, but I can't tell you how many times I draw 2 of this, and I'm so happy I did because I only had a starter, so I can discard itself to be able to negate something, and that comes up so much more than it should. But when I draw it and just a starter, And I'm like, man, if I discard this, I'm hoping on a top deck. It really, really sucks. Next, we are playing 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. I was playing 3 of this. I kept drawing multiple of it, and it kept not coming up. 3 of it is probably correct, but for now, we're just playing 2. I may change it back later on. It depends on how much more Tempai keeps showing up at my locals, and whether or not I'm going to do the regional grind. The next Sand Trap, obviously 3 Ash Blossom. This card is great. The only problem I was having was opening up 2 of this and 2 Ghost Ogre, or 2 Ghost Ogre, 1 of this, and nothing else. And it's like, yeah, you want to see hand traps. It stops your opponent from playing. But if you can't play, it doesn't matter. I truly am not a big fan of how many hand traps we play in the modern day Yu-Gi-Oh game, but I also understand the necessity of them at this point. Next, we're going to move on to spells, starting off with 3 Asianato. This card is insane. It's better than Branded Fusion. It does the same thing as Branded Fusion, letting you fusion summon from deck, but sorry guys, talking too fast. If they ash it, you can just activate a second one because it's only once per turn if it is successful. After that, we are playing, this is the most expensive part of the deck, and that's 3 first movement solos. These are about 20 apiece, and this is what makes it not as budget friendly, but it is still budget friendly. The whole deck, main, extra, and the side deck I built anyways, come in under $100, which is nice. It is an E-Telly if you control no monsters, but it does lock you into Melodious monsters for the turn. And then finally, we are playing 1 Melodious Concerto? No idea if I'm saying that right, but you definitely want this card. It allows you to fusion summon using cards in your pendulum scales, which comes up a lot. I can't tell you how many times I place them, my pendulum scales, in the pen zones. Use this, put them face up in the extra deck, summoned, and then they got to just place themselves back. It's really cool. From there, our generic spells, we are playing 3 Forbidden Droplets. This card comes up a lot, and you definitely want it, especially if you have a lot of branded players around. This helps out. If I had drawn this game 1, I would have 2-0'd the branded player. Unfortunately, this was the card after he Gimmick Puppet locked me and then killed me, which really sucks. I don't know why Konami kept that around. Makes for non-interesting games, and they're really boring. Unfortunately, because of that, I didn't get much in terms of content, because that's all the gimmick. That's all. I almost said that's all the Gimmick Puppet player tried to do, but that's all the branded player tried to do. Next, we are playing 3 Prod of Prosperity. This does conflict a little bit with Concerto because this allows you to draw a card, but you can use that effect on your opponent's turn. You definitely want to play 3 of this because you definitely want more consistency. You want to see your starters, and like I said, there are already 3 bricks in the deck, so you got to be careful with that. And then the final spell, I am playing the 1 of Called by the Grave. I truthfully wish this card would get banned or put back to 3. As a 1 of, it just feels so sacky. But that's it for the spells. The final 3 cards in the main deck, it is 40 cards, is 3 Infinite Impermanence. Pretty standard card at this point. I feel like most people already are playing 3 of it. If not, I strongly recommend it. That'll do it for the main deck. Like I said, it is 40 cards. We are going to go over the extra deck now. We are playing 1 Bloom Diva, the Melodious Core. She is a, what are they called? The ritual archetype that reflects damage. That's what she is. You mainly go into her against Tempai and just leave her in attack position. Your opponent just takes everything. I know a lot of people will tell me I'm wrong for this. What the heck? Apparently, I like hiccuped there. What the heck? I am only playing 2 of the Shadabada. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people are playing 3, and truthfully, I probably would, but I only found 2, so I'm only playing 2. I do have a random filler card in the extra deck that should probably be switched out for something, possibly a 3rd one of those. We are playing 3 Bacha. Yeah, Bacha. Absolutely amazing card. Summons from deck. Your opponent can't interrupt it. It can't. The effect of your activated fusion monster effects cannot be negated. So even if they like Valor or Ash or anything, this still succeeds in its summon effect. But yeah, I am playing 1 Prima. I have never made this card. It supposedly comes up for OTKs because it can attack twice, but I haven't had problems putting enough damage on board. I'm probably still going to keep it in as a one of. It might come up randomly at some point, but for now I have never made it. Uh, Flowering Atoli? I have no idea. Oh, we are playing two of this new card. This card is absolutely broken. It's a non-targeting bounce, which I played against a purely player, and he did not know it. Non-targeting bounce. And then if your opponent removes it by any way, including my battle, it gets to summon from your deck or extra deck, which allows you to like pull out one of these, which on summon gets its effect. I can't tell you how often I did special summon it back from grave, and that return effect is just broken. From here, our one filler card was Baguska. I never made this card. I often banished it off Prosp. I threw it in because I had 14 cards in the extra deck before the tournament and didn't know what I wanted to play. But it is not needed. I don't know what I'm going to put in place of it. Something better, obviously. I am playing one gravity controller. A lot of people already know this, but in this deck, if you put this in the EMZ, then you can link it off into the gravity controller and it gets its effect to summon from grave. We are playing one Haggart Lizdors. It's just a draw card. I also never made this card, but there are scenarios where it does come up. You summon it and then you banish itself. It draws a card and then reduces one of your opponent's monsters down to its attack, which is 800. Is the whole gimmick with it to be able to do the OTK. Then we are playing two Harmonista, the melody composer. This card's absolutely insane. What a custom card. When you attack with a Melodious monster that it points to, it turns them into ancient gears. Your opponent can't activate anything. And then on summon, it can discard a card to special summon two Melodious monsters from your deck. It has an effect when it goes to grave, but I don't remember that effect. If a Melodious monster discard point, no, that's not it. Melodious monster discard point, no, I guess it doesn't. I thought it had a engrave effect. I don't know why. I'm thinking of something else, I guess. And then finally, to round off the extra deck, we are playing one Underworld Goddess. This actually did come up being a light monster. We are able to go into it. Just remember, she does lock you into Melodiouses for the turn, along with first movement solo doing the same. But there are some cards that lock you into light monsters and light monster effects, so you can still make Underworld Goddess. I did go into this a few times, and it's actually pretty good. Finally, we're going to go over a few of the sideboard cards, not all of them, but the big ones, the ones that are special that I did put in. I did side 2 Herald of Greenlight. This came up hugely against the branded player games 2 and 3. I was able to use this to stop them from doing the gimmick of lock because I hit their branded in red because they didn't dump it right away. They thought they could combo on my turn because I wouldn't draw hand traps, but I side in a lot more hand traps. And finally, we side in 2 purple. This was sided in against purely to stop their leap, and it was kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. These cards actually are pretty good. You side these in. I normally took out 1 orange light and sided like these in. Would absolutely recommend siding these. These are actually pretty good and do actually come up a little more than people think they do. But yeah, other than that, guys, that was my Melodious deck. Hopefully you enjoyed the profile. Definitely a good deck. It's definitely budget friendly. You can get the whole deck for under $100. I strongly recommend it. It does a lot better than people think, and a lot of people aren't ready for it. So I'm almost done with Yubel. Yubel's a little less budget friendly. I'm only missing the rank 10 exceed, and then I have all of Memento, but that deck's also about the same price as this. As people keep buying things out. Again, people who keep buying things out to try and price players out of the game, don't do that. This whole game, there are more budget players than there are big fish spending thousands of dollars on the game. For every one person spending thousands of dollars, there's probably 50 budget players spending, a couple hundred, and we definitely make this game float a lot more than you Big Fish do. Make sure you're being responsible with your spending and not just trying to force budget players out of the game. Make sure there's always a budget deck available, guys. Don't be a scumbag. Until next time, guys, remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below on how bad I'm doing. See you next time.